Wisdom is the ability to differentiate between good and best. I not only can see the best, but I can actually acquire the best by deciding to be your best. That's the secret. That's what makes a person great. Hey everyone, we are live right here in our Couples Mastermind. Say hi to everybody. Hi everybody. And so glad you guys are joining us. We're here in Colorado, and what a great group this is, first of all. And I love, this is another incubator of greatness, but this is one of my favorite incubators of greatness. And part of the reason is I get to do it with the love of my life, Precious, and Sheila, and then also I've just met through the years some of the greatest people in our lives have been a part of a couples mastermind. We've just seen God do great miracles in people's lives. And a lot of people think, why would I go to a couples mastermind? You know, my marriage isn't in trouble. It's not about that. It's about wanting to be better and just wanting to understand what we're going to talk a little bit about today in just a minute. And that is, I teach on rules for marriage, and we're going to teach on the 6th rule here in a minute. Marriage is the ultimate template for success in life. And a lot of people never get that revelation. But before we jump into that, I wanted to just cite 10 things psychologists have discovered that all the strongest couples have in common. Not all couples have this in common, but all the strongest couples that are married have these things in common. Number one, and again, this is not from a biblical perspective necessarily. So my number one and this number one would be two different things. I think the strongest couples, one of the things that they have in common is that they both put God first. That's what I would say. But I'm just going to read you what psychologists have said and have discovered through not only the Gottman Institute and many other places, what the strongest couples have in common. Number one, they protect their bond. Healthy couples set boundaries with family, friends, and even work. Their relationship isn't up for outside interference. It's a priority, not an afterthought. So I love that. Number two, they're true companions. Romance is important, but friendship is the glue. I like that. And then strong couples actually like each other. They share hobbies, humor, simple joys in everyday life. Number three, they grow through storms. You're going to have storms, but the strongest couples, adversity doesn't break them, it refines them. They face challenges as a team. They learn resilience instead of running at the first sign of discomfort. Number four thing that psychologists have discovered that all strongest couples have in common is they respect individuality. Psychology calls this differentiation honoring one another's uniqueness without trying to control or fix. So again, I think that's a mistake we can all fall into. We want to fix our spouse, fix our mate, because that would help us be happier. If I could just fix them, then I would be happy. Love thrives in freedom, not in cages. I like that. But I don't mind being in a cage with you. But let's don't have a WWE cage match.
No.
Where somebody has to
not.
get beat down. Number five, they face hard conversations. Conflict isn't avoided, it's navigated. They talk about what matters even when it's uncomfortable, because silence erodes trust faster than any argument. Number six, they fight fair. Disagreements happen, but they don't weaponize words or give in to silent treatment. Their focus isn't on winning, it's on understanding. I love that. Number seven, they laugh often. And I'm glad that they didn't start with this one first, because the truth is, if you're struggling in those other 6, you're not going to laugh very often. But shared humor rewires the nervous system, easing tension. It builds connection. Even flaws and frustrations turn into inside jokes. And I'm just going to tell you, that's one of the strategies that I implemented in our marriage a long time ago. And that is the things sometimes that bother me most about Sheila are things I've just learned to laugh at. And so it's like, and usually I'm dealing with my frustration when I say something like, "You're so funny." Like you're really so funny to me right now because, and so turning it into that rather than.
But I think because you've turned it into that,
Yeah.
that it's really not that anymore.
Yeah.
It's not really a frustration for you. You really made it
Yeah.
where it's funny. But I would just say too that I think that a lot of times as couples we get where we don't laugh because we're so busy with life and we are so busy with work and our kids, and so getting away, taking time to get away. And I know we talk about date night, but also vacations. Like when we come here, I mean, we laugh more than we do when we're at home because we're just busy and going. And so I think just really scheduling a vacation, just the two of you together, and just having those date nights together where sometimes date nights can even be heavy because you can maybe talk about the day or, and so just getting away where you can go have fun, go do something fun.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
The only thing I don't like is when she laughs during sex. It kind of just, I don't know what happens, but it's like she'll start laughing, and I'm going, wait a minute, hold it, wait. No, this is just so funny right now.
It is very true. That does not happen all the time. It's only times when you are funny.
It does happen. Yeah. It's like, wait, this isn't a laughing moment.
Well, when you say, "Oh, my knees."
when I go, girl, listen, man, you're wearing me out. I'm only a mere human.
Yes, but let's move on.
And all I hear is, keep going. You're doing a good job. Okay, man, but you have to give me a massage after this is over because you're killing me, girl.
Okay, that's enough.
Anyway, it's so funny, man. Go on, Lark. You're amazing. You're amazing right now. I hope I can walk after this.
Oh, honey.
Anyway,
please.
okay, number 8.
You're showing your age now.
No, I'm not. I'm showing your supernatural abilities. Okay, so number 8. They keep romance alive. And love, this is the truth. Love is not a feeling. It is an ongoing choice that creates a feeling. And there has never been truer words that have been spoken. Affection, small gestures, genuine effort, remind each other. Like when I'm making an effort in my marriage and my wife knows it, then she knows I still choose you. It's like when I'm willing to fight for us and not just fight with her, like I'm willing to do that because I still choose you. And so don't look at a fight as something that's a negative. Be willing to fight, but don't fight more for what you want than you fight more for what we want. And you can fight for a me want or a we want, and I just encourage you to fight for a we want. Number 9, they support each other's purpose. This is a big one philosophically. Psychologists note that couples who encourage one another's dreams report higher satisfaction. There's no rivalry, only celebration when the other rises. And then number 10, they dream together and apart. It's not just all about together, but hey, what are your dreams? How can I help make what you would like to happen for your life happen? Their goals are aligned as a unit, but they also honor each other's individual paths. And again, it's not you versus me, it's us. And we continue to grow and create side by side. So I just wanted to start with that because I think it's so, again, there are a lot of common denominators that when you learn that, it's like you can fight for that. Sometimes I think we don't know what we should be fighting for. And so within those 10 things are things that we can fight for. And I think you need to fight to laugh together. And I love to laugh with you. I think you're really very, very funny. Very funny. So anyway, right now we're gonna transition for the next few minutes, and I talk a lot about principles, values, standards. Let me say that in a just explanatory way. Principles over preferences. So just think about that as it relates to your marriage. You can be somebody that's all about your preferences, or you can say our common denominator is that we're living not just by our individual preferences, but we're living by the principles, which principles, another word or synonym for principle is truth. What are the truths that you're living by? And I think it's important that you agree on not your truth, my truth, that we try to find some kind of common ground, but let's start by agreeing that the principles that we live by are that transcend our preferences. We all have preferences, but the principles that we live by are really the truths of the Word of God, and that we can come into agreement on that. Then what that leads us to next is our values. What is it that matters most to me? What is it that matters most to you? And then what is it that matters most to us together? So it's principles over preferences. It's values of what matters most over just living more by default rather than by design. And then ultimately, the third thing is the standards or the rules that you choose to live by. What a lot of people don't realize is they're living by some type of rules. You know, you have, and it's again more unspoken than spoken, but you have rules. Like you have rules of the way you think things should be. You have rules of the way you think things can work by following the rules. But when we talk about the rules for marriage, let me just give you the first 5 real quick. And these are things we taught extensively on now for several years, and we're only on rule 6. But decide what matters most, and that's when we take people through a core values process. And if you're watching this and you've never done your own personal core values, in my book, Your Divine Fingerprint, which you can, how can they get that, Josh? Can they still get that on Amazon?
That's a great question.
Or keithcraft.com. keithcraft.com. You can order it on keithcraft.com. That's the best thing because we've just gotten our rights back, so it may not be as readily available. But, you know, it's been in Barnes & Nobles and all over the world, literally. But Your Divine Fingerprint, Chapter 5, I talk about your core values. So part of your fingerprint is, and the way I say it is you have a fingerprint nobody else has to leave an imprint that nobody else can leave. But part of the fingerprint that's unique about you is what you decide matters most. So a lot of people have never gone through that process. So in Chapter 5 of my book, you can check that out. Or I actually have a teaching at keithcraft.com. We call it a mastery series on core values. And I would encourage you just to check that out because I think that's one of the most important things that you can do. I won't take time in this group because they know the story, but when we first started dating, I was 16, she was 15 in 1976, I laid out what mattered most to me with her. I drew a triangle and said, this is you, this is me, this is God, and began to talk about, before we ever said yes to each other, we talked about what mattered most to each other. And we still hold to that today. So that's why it's rule number 1, that you've got to decide what matters most to you. And you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody, first of all, that doesn't know that you don't know what matters most to them. Because where people have a conflict in their marriage or in a relationship with someone else is not just because we're different, but at the end of the day, lasting relationships have a basis or a foundation of, hey, I know what matters most to me, and if you know what matters most to you, and those things align, then together we're gonna go exponential in not only our own meaning and purpose, our own happiness, but also in the ability to to have our dreams come true and to make each other's dreams come true. And so it's important that, again, you've got to decide what matters most. And I didn't grow up in a home like that. Most of us didn't. Most of you don't. If you ask most people, what is it that matters most to you? Most people couldn't even tell you that, because they live more by default than by design. Second rule of marriage is be a great lover. And I'll just give you one statement about that. If you really want to be a great lover, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to be, everybody wants to be greatly loved. But the rule is you be a great lover. And great lovers do three things. Number one, they're great apologizers. They're great, anybody know? Forgivers. And they seek to love people the way they need to be loved. And so again, that's rule number two. Rule number three, set realistic expectations. And I can't tell you how powerful this is. This is a revelation. Most people have unrealistic, number one, expectations, and number two, unmet expectations in their relationships. Why is that? Because they don't understand the power of their expectation. So I'm not going to take a lot of time to go over this, because we've only got a few minutes with you. But your expectations are set by default between your ideals and your reality. And you got to understand something. Fight for the ideal, but know what your reality is, and set your expectations accordingly, and start with setting expectations on yourself, and don't project your expectations on other people, or you won't have a great relationship. So again, where do our expectations come from? They come from our own ideals. Our marriage should be this way. A man should be this way. A woman should be this way. A family should be this way. And the only reason an expectation is unrealistic, number one, is because you're not living up to your own expectation. You're not living up to your own ideal, and you're expecting somebody else to be more ideal than you're being. Number two, the only reason an expectation is an unmet expectation is because rather than working on yourself, you're projecting that expectation on somebody else. And then the fourth rule is make intimacy or intimacy your life goal. Listen, don't just have have close relationships. That's all I'm going to say on that. Number five, find your rhythm. There is a rhythm of marriage. You have a heart rhythm. There is a rhythm to your life. You have to know, and you say, what is a rhythm? A rhythm is a flow. You have to know your flow. You have to know how to get into your flow. So one of the ways to know that, number one, are you a morning person or a night person? That gives you insight into how you flow. When you flow, when you understand how important flow is, then you can understand that every day I can learn to get myself in a flow. I'm not going to take any more time on that. Number six, marriage is the ultimate template for success in life. All success is hidden in templates. When you find the template, you will find success. So I believe that marriage is not only the first thing that God instituted, but it's a template. So Jess, how long are we going to go?
Whenever you want to wrap up.
Okay, so what are you giving me time?
Like 1 minute.
Okay.
20 minutes.
Okay, has it already been 20 minutes? It has? Have I been talking that long?
No.
Wow. Okay. So let me just say this. It's up to you. If all success is hidden in templates, and it is, it's up to you to recognize templates. What would be a template? It's up to you to utilize templates. Y'all take a look at your notes. It's up to you to materialize templates, and it's up to you to monetize templates. So that's what's so important. And so I want to encourage you to understand, and this is what I've written, I call this a leadershipology. Marriage is a template for every area of your life where you want success. If you can make a marriage work, you can make anything work. Trust me when I tell you this. And then how you get along with your spouse determines how you will get along in life. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to continue to teach here, but here's what I want to tell you. Like, Find rooms, find places where you can learn success templates. Find in your life, don't seek to reinvent the wheel. Find a wheel that's worked, build on that wheel, make that wheel roll better, make it bigger, make it stronger, make it more powerful. And understand this, God wants you to be a person that doesn't just have to figure it all out by yourself. Get into a Bible-believing church, get into what we call an incubator of greatness, and begin to learn and grow from other people just like that are in this room. God bless you guys. Say bye to everybody. Bye, everybody. Bye, y'all. God bless you. Wisdom is the ability to differentiate between good and best. I not only can see the best, but I can actually acquire the best by deciding to be your best. That's the secret. That's what makes a person great.